Alright, so let's go into the Eternals, I guess. Yeah, like Bibi Larson saying
Hey.
Eternals was awesome. Love Tina and Gilgamesh. Yeah, that's a good start.
Mm-hmm.
Gilgamesh is was it Korean Wong? Is it the one from
Yeah, it's
No.
Korean Wong.
Wait,
It's
yes,
Korean
yes,
Wong.
yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, Train to
Yeah,
Busan.
yeah,
Yeah.
Korean Wong. There you
Korean
go.
Wong.
Korean Wong.
But yeah, sadly Ari couldn't join us in this review because Indonesia skipped like 2 hour 30
What?
minutes of the scenes, right?
Yeah, yeah, Albert. Albert said like, oh, they're gonna skip some
Oh,
scenes.
is
Albert,
it?
I think the some scenes they skipped is about 2.5 hours.
They actually do not allow this release?
Well, we
No, no,
I
they
mean
We
like
don't
eventually
know, but
did.
that's a theory.
No, they eventually did. I
Because
heard
I
that it's
know
coming
it's
late.
blocked in the Middle East. I know for in the Middle East it's 100% not
mhm,
allowed at all because
yeah.
it's
Yeah.
illegal.
No. Like what happened was like here. I asked my friend, right? He wants to watch Last Night in Soho, but I didn't go. And I was like,
Mhm.
why not watch Eternals? That's what the councilmen are gonna discuss. And he's like, it's not on. I'm like, what? What do you mean? So he checked. He's like, wait, I saw it on the
The coming
new
soon.
releases in
Oh
like
yeah, yeah.
theater posters. He saw
Uh-huh.
that like a few days ago for Eternals, but then he checked the theaters again. It's gone, and
Oh,
we
they
don't
took
know
it down, yeah.
why. Yeah, no
Oh,
explanation or anything. And I know that there's like
the whole controversy
LGBT
thing.
I
Yeah.
gay stuff
I
in the movie.
go ahead.
And I know Indonesia is primarily a Muslim country, and we don't, accept
Mhm.
the LGBT community that much, sadly. So, like, yeah, is it because of that or what? I'm so confused. But
It's not
then,
confirmed or
Like,
anything, Yeah.
yeah,
no, it is
Uh,
not
but I just
confirmed,
checked.
but our suspicion is that, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but I just checked on CNN Indonesia today. Like, oh, it's going to be released on 10th of November. So why the delay?
Yeah.
Probably to delete that.
Yeah,
Probably to
Also,
probably.
delete it.
also like I don't know who have the rights to do the censorship. Is it like the censorship?
There is a
Per
censorship
country has their
committee.
For
No,
own.
there is a
because
censorship
like
committee.
when
Oh,
I was reading some stuff about like the Middle Eastern releases where they're not allowing the film to be played at all. It
huh?
mentioned I read I couldn't find a quote right now, but it mentioned something like Disney is not gonna edit the version to cut out the love scenes. So that made me thought, oh, is Disney the one who's supposed to do it, or is their own censorship committee supposed to do it? I don't know, but yeah,
I don't know about the Middle East, but
maybe it's depend per country.
In Indonesia, there is a censorship committee that does it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that
Okay.
What
does
I
it
know, every
itself.
country
Yeah.
has their own kind of thing. Yeah.
And every
Hmm.
Yeah.
movie we
Yeah.
watch in theaters that has kissing, not regardless of the sexuality, be it same
Yeah.
sex,
My God, you're gonna
skip.
miss a lot of stuff in Last Night in Soho. Just saying that right now.
Damn.
I
yeah,
should ask that to my friends because they did say like, "Oh, this story is confusing." Maybe that's what happened.
Maybe that's why.
maybe that's what happened.
Because everything got skipped. They're just like, "Oh."
Damn.
So much
Damn.
context.
Alright. So,
Yeah,
alright,
so I
yeah,
did watch.
so yeah.
Also, isn't 50 Shades of Grey released in Indonesia? What the shit?
Thought it wasn't. I
Was it
thought
not?
Kajadi.
I don't
I
know.
can't
I don't
remember.
know. I don't know.
Well, anyway, let's go into the non-spoiler review first, I guess. Yeah, I think you can say it for this
Yeah.
one.
Oh, nobody's telling me to get out. Okay.
Not yet, not yet.
Okay.
Alright, so non-spoiler review. Teguh, you want to start first?
I liked it.
Okay. I think
Oh,
I think
too much
out of the three
spoilers.
of us that watched it, feel like Teguh liked it the most.
Yeah. I think so. I mean, I haven't heard Albert yet, but I gave it. Can I just say the ratings now?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
like
sure.
Go ahead.
when I finished the movie, I was like, this is probably recency bias, but I think I'm gonna give it a 9. But even until that's what I thought when I first watched it, right? And even until
Mhm.
now, I think it's still sitting at around an 8 point. At as low as it gets, it'll be an 8.5
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
no non spoiler, right? Yeah. So I remember, I think Albert mentioned, that there were action scenes, but it wasn't as like focused on the action, more towards the character development and all that. And you know what? When I watched the movie, first of all, I do tend to prefer liking story over just
Action. Just pure
yeah. I
action.
mean, I like
Yeah.
action, but I like story driven as well, right? So I was like,
Mhm.
I probably like this, and yeah, I really did like it. The pacing was fine. I think I don't know. It's a weird case because I feel like they did have a lot to go through,
Mhm.
but
But
I wouldn't.
it's
I
not like
wouldn't
it's
want
dragging.
them. It's not like it's dragging, and I don't want them to split it into different movies. I feel like
Mhm.
one movie was perfect, right? And
Yeah.
Kelvin did mention earlier that like some people complain that it felt long, and I will have to agree with that because during the movie I did check my watch like around 3 or 4 times to see what time it was, but it didn't feel dragged out. It felt long, but it didn't feel dragged out.
Mm.
And I'm usually the one that's complaining about all the political correctness and all of that. But you know what? For once, they dealt with it like it was normal. So, I actually enjoyed it.
That's how you should do it, guys.
Yeah,
That's
that's how
how
you should
every
do
movie
it.
should do it.
That's how every movie should do it. Just treat it like it's normal. And you know what? I did like the character.
Yeah.
What's the name? Fastos? Yeah. I really liked
Yeah,
Fastos actually.
he's one of my
That's
favorites.
nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's up there in my favorites. The only thing is, this is a non-spoiler, right? Yeah, yeah. I wouldn't say it was awkward. It's really hard for me to find the right words for it, but you know the mute character.
Makari.
There's a mute character,
Yeah,
Makari. Yeah.
Makari. Yeah. My only problem with her, it felt kind of jarring because I was watching it with Japanese subtitles, right?
Oh
So
yeah,
I
no
just
problem.
completely ignored subtitles and I was just only watching their facial expressions and listening, right? So whenever she came up, because she's using sign language, I had to read subtitles. It's just that like it broke my immersion because like for a split second I had to like stop listening and start reading.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was a bit jarring at times. Um, but it wasn't like any it didn't make the movie bad or anything. Because
All
to
right.
be fair,
All
she
right.
didn't really get much screen time either. I feel like,
Yeah. I think so. Yeah.
but
I'm at the around the end. I guess. Yeah. Around.
she got a
Yeah.
bit more on the end. But in the beginning,
Yeah.
it's just.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, no, I guess that's it from me so far, at least.
All right. Yeah.
Kelvin
We'll
wants
get
to
more into it,
answer.
I guess, in the later
Yeah,
in
in
the
the
spoiler.
spoiler, yeah.
Yeah. Uh. Well, I enjoy the movie. I enjoy the movie. I pretty much agree with pretty much most with what Teguh said. Yeah, it's actually quite. I'm quite. It's like they have to introduce 10 characters. Give them backgrounds, backstories, and everything. I think they did a good job at it. Juggling that much character, and then yeah, there is the whole people saying like, yeah, there's too much exposition. Well, I mean like it's kind of needed, right, for this. I feel
Mhm.
like, yeah, because they need to tell. It's like Eternals. Who knows about them? Not a lot of people do. So I feel like
Who knows about the
this
Albert?
like the few movies that I'll let them have more exposition than I would like, because they need it for the world building, right? Yeah,
Mm,
that's my opinion on it. Um, yes, the acting was great. Yeah, it's more character driven, that's for sure. But not to say that the action was bad. No, I quite like the action as well. Sure, it's not Shang-Chi level, right? But
yeah.
you know, it was still like captivating for me to like, whoa, whoa, okay, that's cool. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would give it like what? They will give it a 9. I'll give it like a nice, solid 8. Yeah, yeah. How about Albert?
Yeah. I'll start off with my score. I was very mixed about it when I first came out of the screening. Which, by the way, I'll get
Hmm?
to the story about the screening. But yeah, I'm between like I'm like high 7s, low 8s, more apart. I was planning to watch it again this weekend. I was like, it's too soon. I'm gonna probably watch it again on Thursday because I do want to watch it again. Um, but I thought for the most part it's good. I think there is a lot of source material that they had to cover, and I think they did a good job with the source material in terms of covering the background and everything. I think, having said that, the script has weakness, and it's on some of the characters. In particular, I thought Gilgamesh's writing was kind of weak for his character, sadly, even though I really want to like that character, but I just don't really care for Gilgamesh because of it.
Mm.
Ajax is also very weak in terms of writing, and we'll get to it in the spoiler review of those specifically. But yeah, I thought the characters are great. They introduced lots of great new characters. Fan favorites already. I can tell already. Again, the world building's good. The score by Raman Djawadi, I freaking love it. Arek, I told you this in the chat, but it's like a techno Game of Thrones. The music,
Yeah.
I absolutely love it. I've been listening to the theme song like in every morning now. It's
Yeah.
so cool.
Wow.
It might be one of my
Yeah.
favorite like theme songs for an MCU movie. But yeah, the overall film is good. It's a long film, but I didn't feel the runtime at all. I did not check my watch at all during the film. I thought it was good, and it's different. It's very philosophical. It's a different type of MCU film, especially with how much is character driven, and not much is like a. It's I cannot get the spoiler, but yeah, it's very philosophical and very character driven, and
Mm.
yeah. Also,
Right.
I went to a screening. That's why I was able to see it on Wednesday. I got that from the screening. Let me just grab that real quick.
All right. So yeah, Albert got lucky and
This
was able
is
to go to
this
the
is so
screening.
cool.
Watch it
I
earlier.
got this for free.
Damn,
it's
that's
cool.
cool.
it's literally.
That's really cool.
Oh,
This is
damn.
from the Marvel Instagram account. There's literally the Marvel Instagram account posted like I think on Monday or something like, hey, you wanna go to a screening? Check out this Marvel screening near you. And I'm like, okay, this is not a scam because this is first Marvel, but I'm like, there is no chance I'm gonna get it. So I just checked it out anyway. Go to the website, and then like I look for it. Oh, there's one in Atlanta. There's only one option. Wednesday, 7 p.m. Okay, I guess I have to. I don't even know if I can make it in time because of work and the traffic and everything, right? So I'm like, I just try it, and then I got the tickets anyway. And then as soon as I got the tickets, it says, "This is not a guarantee. We're overbooking it so that we want to make sure the theater is full. So it's first come first serve." So I'm like,
Mhm.
okay. I mean, I have the tickets here. Most likely, I won't be able to make it anyway again because of traffic and everything. It's like remember rush hour. So like I don't even know. But so I planned it out. I planned a whole day getting ready. I already brought my buy my dinner. So I eat burger in the car on the way there. But yeah, I got it. I got in time. Got the seat. This is my first screening ever, which is really cool. And then the craziest part is Liam Q, who plays Sprite, was in the building in the opening, which I freaked out because like the host is like, "All right, guys, get your phones out. You'll be excited for this." And at first I'm like, "Yeah, hopefully, okay, I'm gonna get my phones out. Hopefully this is not a scam. Hopefully he's not just like giving fake excitement and there is no one." And it turns out, so in the building we have Liam McHugh, Sprite, and I'm like, oh shit! All right, record. Take a picture. So yeah, that's exciting. She's very nice. I didn't get to talk to her in person, but she seems very nice when she's talking. And she's only 14, which is wild still.
Damn, we old.
But yeah, that might or might not have been one of the reasons why Sprite might be one of my favorite characters.
Yeah,
I see.
biased.
All right, bias.
Hey, if Liam McHugh appears in your theater as well, you'll feel the same way.
If Albert saw like was it Don Lee, he'll be like Gilgamesh is my favorite character.
Okay, also to be fair, I'll get this to the spoiler review. But to be fair, there is something about Sprite that has a pattern with all my other favorite MCU characters, so it makes
Okay.
sense why I connect to her.
Yeah. All right. So for now, let's jump to the spoiler review. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's jump into the spoiler territory here for the Eternal. So if you guys haven't watched it, go ahead and
So I saw the
click
cleaning.
away, watch it, and then come back. I'm assuming
Yeah,
Albert's
go
going
away,
to click out
guys.
this part.
Yeah.
Yeah, bugger off, Frick.
Ah.
We'll call you back later. We'll call you back later. Yeah, alright, so what's the muted?
I had
Okay.
to sneeze.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Alright. So let's start I guess from the one that least liked the movie, Albert. So yeah, this is spoiler review on this. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So I'll just start with why I thought some of the writings are weak. Um,
Mhm.
Again, I thought the world building they did a really good job. There was a lot of expositions, especially because I find it interesting in the beginning that they use like a title card to explain the history
Yeah.
kind of thing. Instead
Mhm.
of usually Marvel when do when they want to do something like that, they did like Black Panther. They have like an animation style like that, like oh Wakanda is this, and then they build everything. But they decided to use this title card. I guess it's budgetary wise and faster in runtime. Maybe I don't know, but they
Yeah.
do that. So that's interesting, and they already set that up. And then with the Celestials, everything in the middle of the film, with Cersei explaining what their mission is, I thought that part was good. And the trade-off is, I thought some of the characters are not as well fleshed out. Once again, like Ajax, they didn't get shit from her because she got killed off very early. Like I
Mhm.
understand her motivation. I thought Salma Hayek was good in it, but I didn't get that much of Ajax, and I want more of her character because in the comics she's also pretty big. She's like the leader,
Okay.
as they tell in the film, and like Gilgamesh, there wasn't much. He was like there as the comfort character. He's like he's like very nice, very likable, and I do like I do like his character. I just don't like how he's treated, and some of the lines,
Okay.
some of the lines was very jarring. I don't know if it was the editing because some parts of the earlier film as well, the editing is kind of off, and maybe it's also because there is so many flashbacks that they go jumping back and forth with the
Yeah.
editing. I don't know, but like especially with Gilgamesh, and I don't know if it's the line delivery of Don Lee because I don't think it's done an American film, but it feels very unnatural. It it doesn't feel like a character is saying this. It feels like it just doesn't feel natural. I don't know. It's like jokes, jokes, jokes. He does a lot of jokes in the film,
Yeah.
which I wish there isn't as much for him. I don't care. Kingo fits the jokes because Kumail Nanjiani, he can do no wrong.
Mm.
And the other ones also have just good jokes, but Gilgamesh jokes just doesn't land for me as much. Yeah,
Um.
but I like all the other characters. Druid is awesome. The more I think about it, Tina is awesome. I love Angelina Jolie in here. Cersei is fine. I don't think she did a particularly. I don't think Emma Chen did a particularly good job about it. Her character is kind of flat, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Icarus is good. I like Icarus, like his confliction and everything. Fastos is my favorite once again. Makari is good. Or the fact that we have a definite youth character and like she's still written very well and the powers are awesome. I like that. And yes, Sprite. Sprite's awesome. Literally, I was thinking about this. Two of my favorite MCU characters are Captain America and Wanda, right? And what do they have in
Mhm.
common? They have their lives taken away from them, literally. Captain America, his life taken away from him. Wanda as well. She lost everything. They have to sacrifice everything. Which of the Eternals literally doesn't have a life because their life is taken away from them? Because they stay young forever. Sprite.
I guess.
So like that's that. There's a pattern there. So,
I
yeah.
guess. Yeah.
I mean, it's sad.
Uh.
Her character is heartbreaking sad too. So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
I like her about it.
Yeah.
So she convinced me very much for someone who's supposed to be 12 years old yet have lived eternals
Like
of life. There's
I'm
not a
totally.
single moment in that film where I thought she was just a regular 12-year-old. I feel the age in her character based on her performance.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So, oh, what you think, Teguh, of Albert's points?
I'm almost the exact opposite actually. If you think about it, like sure, I guess Cersei's character, I can agree that it was kind of flat, but I did like it. Fastos I did
Mm.
really like. I wouldn't say it's my
Mhm.
favorite, but like I did really like. Who else was there?
Fastos, Gilgamesh.
Gilgamesh. Okay, I see your point by what you mean about like how like he's not kind of like put in well enough. But as a character, I did really like him. He's also up there as one of my favorites, just as a character, like personality wise.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I can see why you would say like it didn't really feel right.
Yeah. Again, maybe
But
once I rewatch it, I'll like it better. I don't know.
Maybe.
I
Yeah.
don't know, well, I did really like it. Yeah, because he was there as the comfort character, right? So I did really
Mhm.
like it.
How
What
about
else? Sprite.
Tina? Sprite? Yeah.
I wouldn't say she's my favorite. She's not even up there as one of my favorites. I don't know. Didn't feel too compelling. I mean, like, her story was sad, yes, but like, I wasn't like bawling my eyes over her or anything. I was just like,
Yeah.
Okay.
Thena.
Well,
About Thena, I think I had this discussion with Tim earlier.
yeah.
Thena. I think Angelina Jolie played Thena well. It's just that for some reason, Tim and I are on the same boat on this. We feel like Jolie as an actress probably just feels more appropriate as Ajak.
It's Ajak.
Yeah.
Why so?
Tim
Why
went
so?
ahead and said Salma Hayek and Angelina Jolie should switch characters. I don't know. Just from like the way they look and everything, for me personally,
I
like I wouldn't have Salma Hayek as Tina, but I did. I mean, from seeing the trailers as well and everything, I kind of assumed that Angelina Jolie was the leader or like the most or like the oldest out of all of them. That's what I felt at least. But
Mm.
at the end of the day, I did think her performance as Dina was really good. I just
Okay.
that just kind of like, oh, that's not what I was expecting. That's all.
Alright.
What else?
just a
Yeah.
little bit counter on that argument. I thought Ajax supposed to be like the spiritual leader, like the Zen one, right? I think
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Salma Hayek embodies that more than Angelina Jolie,
Okay,
but
well,
that was just me.
I mean, I don't know because I came into this without knowing anything, right? So
Yeah.
like I did not like I didn't even if I was made aware of this, I just forgot about it. When I was watching the movie, right? I didn't know which one is Ajak until like they actually showed Salma Hayek as Ajak. So I just assumed that Tina was what was later Tina was Ajak. Is kind of like what
Yeah.
happened with me. That's why I just kind of like oh okay.
Alright.
About I don't know what do you mean by the
By the
about
what?
what's her name again?
Makari.
Makari?
Makari. Albert,
Yeah.
you said her writing was really good. I can't remember anything about her character writing that was really compelling to me though.
I think her character is fleshed out really well. And
Could you
like
maybe
you
just
can,
try to remind
and
me, even though I watched it yesterday?
I also like the contrast. One of my friends did not like the romance between Cersei and Icarus. He said that it doesn't work for him. I thought the romance between Cersei and Icarus and Kit Harington, we haven't mentioned as Dane Whitman, that I thought the romance worked, and like there is like a toxic feel of Cersei's and Icarus romance, which we've never seen that in the MCU. So I appreciate that. And also
Mm-hmm.
in comparison, Druig and Makari have like the playful relationship. We feel like so
Yeah.
I like the contrast in that as well. And like again, she didn't have that much to do in the film, but she's badass. And like she's sort of
Especially in
like
the end.
she does
In
her
the end, yeah.
like she does her role sort of like a soldier type kind of thing, like very efficiently. Like
Yeah.
she knows what to do with her. Like they use her efficiently, I guess that's the best way to say it.
Okay, yeah, because
Yeah.
I was like they didn't really give much backstory into her
Yeah,
on all
yeah.
that because I feel like screen time she didn't get that much, but
Yeah. Man, for the first half of the movie, she practically don't really appear, right? Until they went
Yeah.
to the ship. Was it
We
Domo Dono?
only Domo.
Yeah.
We only see her until she's in Domo and during the flashbacks.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
So yeah. I pretty much agree with pretty much all your point. Like yeah. As much as I like Gemma-chan as Cersei, it's like yeah, I can see how she comes off as a flat character, I suppose. Yeah, and then yeah. Icarus is really good. It's really good, and then I really like everyone else's performance. No, the one I don't know why, but I really like Druid. He's cool.
He's cool. He's literally
He's cool.
cool.
Yeah, Druid is really cool. Yeah. I like him. Okay.
And I like that literally, even though this is an ensemble film, and we sort of, again, maybe some characters are not as fleshed out as others, but we get everyone's motivation like very
Yeah.
clearly. Icarus is
Yeah.
the loyal soldier. He is
Mm-hmm.
as loyal that he's willing to betray his team for the sake of the Celestials, which is who's he's loyal to. Everyone
Yeah.
else is like Sprite is sort of like mixed because obviously that's the love struck of it. Kingo, he's loyal to the Celestials, but he also doesn't want to fight his friend, so he just like backs out of it. That's like his
Yeah.
personality, and like everyone else have their own like backstory as well. I guess Makari's the one that's sort of left out. Like Druid, with the flashbacks where he left when he left the team for his own motivations,
Yeah.
because like he wants his own thing. That's like there's own character building, and even like Fastos with his family and what when he's lost faith with the humans, that's his own thing. So like all of them have pretty much. And Tina with the when she lose control because of the I forget the name, the mad.
The Matt Veer, I think it's called.
Yeah,
Matt Veer. Yeah.
yeah. When she basically remember the past.
Mod something, yeah.
Matt Veer. I swear.
Not Veer.
Yeah,
yeah.
I swear.
But yeah, when basically she remembered about the past and everything. So yeah, I thought all of them are pretty fleshed out quite well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Alright.
that reminded me of a few complaints. Okay, there was one about I keep forgetting her name. What?
Makari.
Makari. This is a
yeah,
way to
Makari.
remember it to go. Makari sounds like Mercury, which is the Roman god who delivers message and is fast.
Thank you. Okay.
Sure.
Makari, I had another.
Because that's
complaint.
literally
Alright.
the origin of the character name. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So my main complaint with Makari, I think I told Kelvin earlier, was
Okay.
sure she didn't feel too far off in the movie, apart from what I mentioned before when it was kind of jarring having to switch from listening mode to reading mode in the middle of the
Mhm.
movie. But can I just say, if your whole goal was to make super soldiers, why did you make one that can't speak?
Yep.
Like, it makes no tactical, like, it's not a tactical advantage, it's a tactical disadvantage, right?
Yeah.
Like, why? I mean, sure, she can sense vibrations or anything, but that doesn't mean you have to limit her to not being able to speak.
Yeah, like why
And-
not let her speak and sense vibration?
Yeah, I mean, like, I have no problem with it apart from this tactical point of view, which is the
Yeah.
military side of me just being like, why?
Yeah,
But,
I
more than
understand.
that, though, my issue with it was kind of, it's brought up in the argument that's kind of going on in the chat right now.
Yeah, I was gonna
That,
go to that just now. Yeah.
Yeah, Star Machine brought this up. The Deviants was a bad villain.
Mm-hmm.
That is my biggest complaint with this.
Same.
I feel like the
But also
Deviant,
not-
especially the one that evolved, you can just almost completely take them out of the movie and there will be no consequence.
I mean, like the only reason they have to put deviants in there because the
Yeah.
Eternals and
Yeah.
deviants, the lore-wise, they are so
That's-
interconnected that
That's what I told
you
Calvin.
kind of have to tell, you kind of have to mention the deviants kind of thing. Yeah.
So I mean, like, yeah, leave them in like the backstories and all that, but like in the, when they quote unquote resurface all of that, I really don't think you need them there.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, like especially the fact that they killed off the big bad deviant, the one that
the
absorbs
evolving
power
one, right?
thing. Yeah, the one that can talk. It's like especially because they
Crow.
killed him off. It's like if like at the end I really thought that that thing is gonna kill Tina, right? And then like that's gonna set up for like the next villain or something like that, or maybe they're going to deal with it in the movie, and then like no, it's like why is he there? Like take him off, everything should just go along fine, kind of thing.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
even like even if they wanted to keep the deviants in like the modern day, in the present day and everything, I think they could have just like not have the whole evolving thing, because I feel like with the whole evolving thing, they're trying to put in another side of like, oh, like they have, like they were just trying to evolve, and like they have like their
You're just
will
trying
to
to.
live and all of
Yeah.
that as well. I think that just added another layer, which made us think, oh, okay, the deviants are kind of important, and then it turns out they're not important at all,
Hmm.
which kind of just like, personally for me, let me down. I think if they just left them as is, like in the beginning without the evolving, for the whole pretext that they can use them to kill off Ajax, I think that would have
Yeah.
just been fine.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
They didn't need the evolving and all of that. Like
Fair.
Mhm.
that was a bit unnecessary
Yeah.
considering all the stuff they already had to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fat Love movies say like not having the villain is like, which is why it's different, and that's why Fat Love movies appreciate it. Yeah.
Right. That is also one of my favorite parts of the film, and like I mentioned this to Calvin right the day after Calvin watched this.
Mhm.
And maybe like not to repeat everything, but like what Teguh said might work. I need to picture that a little bit more, but yeah, it feels like they're tied in with the lore of like, oh, they're sent to Earth to deal with to deal with the deviants, and that's why in the film they're still dealing with it, even though at the end of the day, the story that they're trying to tell is that sort of again the philosophical part of it of like, oh, should we defy what we're sent here to do to stop this and kill and let new life come about from the celestial, this killing hundreds of others that we know and love already, or should we try to stop that? So that's like the main villain is like this moral issue, right? At the end of the day, and like some people is with one side and the other people is with the other side. But then again, the third party, the deviance, is there, which sort of like halts it in its progress in a way. Um, but yeah,
Yeah.
it feels like they're bogged into that. But if they just somehow deal with that faster, I guess that third act could just be like the morality battle, and it
Mm.
could be it could still work because the action sequence between Fastos and Tina and Makari against Icarus is awesome.
That was
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah. I really like,
My
especially
yeah,
like
go
when
go go.
Makari starts beating, what's the name, fighting Icarus. It's like I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
that's like how the Flash fight. Wow.
And like also I like that during the battle everyone have their roles. Like literally those three
Yeah.
are supposed to hold him down, stall him. Ajax, not Ajax. Ajax is dead. Druid was supposed to try to subdue the Celestial, but he clearly couldn't.
Which he
Wasn't
kind of
able to
succeed though for a bit. You
until
know,
he
he
got
For a
until he
bit,
got
yeah.
ambushed.
yeah, he kind of did it for a bit. If Icarus didn't bump him,
when
you
when he came back and knocked out Sprite, my theater like yeah. They were like, "Come on."
For even though Sprite's actress was there, feels bad.
Yeah, I know, it
Yeah,
feels bad.
she wasn't there anymore, and when the film
Oh.
started,
Okay.
but yeah, but yeah, that happens, and like obviously Cersei was supposed to come down, which is an awesome moment. The special effects in this film is great. We haven't
Yeah.
talked about the visuals. The visuals fantastic.
Oh yeah, it was definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
How
one
do
of my
you?
favorite parts of the last battle was when Fastos. I keep almost calling him Hephaestus because that's his like Druid name, but like Fastos like tied down Icarus and called, "Isn't this satisfying? I've always wanted to clip your wings." I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
oh!"
Yeah,
That
like
was a really good line. That was a really good line.
Now, like, no, here's the thing
like the
though. I
lore.
really love that line. The only problem with it for me is, at least for me, that came out of nowhere. Because
Mm.
at no point, I feel like at no point in the movie did they ever show that Fastos was ever like jealous or did not like Icarus, you know?
Yeah, like have any rivalry with him, right? Yeah.
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 And then
Yeah.
out of nowhere, he's just like, "I always want to clip your wings." I'm like, that is cool. But I did not see that coming. But I like that, you know?
Yeah.
I thought it was. I thought it was because they even reference this at the very end of like Tina, Athena, that their names are very similar. That they mistaken her for the
Yeah,
Roman god. I thought that was a reference to the actual Icarus character, which is also
Yeah.
very ironic that he killed himself because he flew too close to
He
the
flew
sun.
too close to the sun. Yeah.
He
Well, no,
did that on
he didn't flew
purpose.
too close to the sun. He
He
flew into the
literally
Right
sun.
he flew into the sun. Right, I thought there was a reference to that in terms of that Icarus character. He
Yeah.
purposefully did it because they know that they're somewhat like.
How do you? Yeah, about Icarus. Do you guys see him turning evil at the end, around the middle point, I guess.
I did
I
not really see it coming.
I didn't see it coming. That yeah.
I realize that he does something bad as soon as he says to Kingo that
Kingo. Well, I mean,
you're
like,
not I'm not who you think you are. As soon as he said that, I'm like, okay, so he either killed someone or he teamed up with the deviants or something. And so, like, yeah, he does something really,
Yeah,
really bad.
but I think at that, I'm like that's about the same time I had my suspicions. But at that point, it's like they revealed it like within the next 5 minutes.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah. I mean, like, before he said that, I feel
No.
like we
No, I
weren't
did not
expecting that at all. Like, after
I did not
that
expect
line,
that.
then we
No,
are
because
like,
Icarus,
ooh,
Icarus is a good
what's
character
with
in
him?
the comics too. He's a good character.
Yeah.
If anything, I thought it was Sprite who's gonna somehow do it
Yeah,
because in
right.
the
Me
comics
too.
Sprite have a like a history of it.
Oh,
Because obviously she's frustrated. She's in the body of a 12-year-old
yeah.
all time. No one treats her properly, so she's frustrated. So I thought that was, and I guess they did that with Sprite in a way, make her stick with Icarus. But yeah, I did not see that coming. But yeah, it's an interesting morality issue. My friend
Mhm.
brought it up, saying like, why is it that only Icarus is the one who decides to
ejects all?
side
Oh.
no, who decides to side with the Celestials and the others doesn't. Like he doesn't understand where that motivation come from.
Well, I mean, like, well, I don't know. Yeah. Well,
But yeah,
I know why, but
but like I literally, because he's a Star Trek person, and I was like, I directly throw the line to him. The life of the many outweigh the life of the many outweigh the needs of the many outweighs the needs of the few. And then it's like, damn it.
but yeah. What else about the Eternals? What else is there?
Um, Did you guys feel? Did you guys feel the? Where is it just now? Did you guys feel like the flashbacks was jarring?
Yes.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
all of them. Some of them. Some of them.
Yeah, some of them are. Yeah, some of them were
The
jarring.
the Nagasaki Hiroshima one was kind of jarring.
Yeah, that one was kind of jarring, honestly.
No, that wasn't for me because as soon as they said like Phastos lost his faith in humanity, my brain immediately went, "Oh, weapons," and then they just showed nuclear bomb. I'm like, "Oh, okay." The most jarring one for me was when out of nowhere they cut into Babylon for the first time.
Because that's the first time they did it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
The
was
first
very
flashback.
jarring for me. Yeah, I don't know. It was the
Yeah.
first. I think it was like the second. Was it?
Honestly, I
Was
don't
it the
know.
first? No,
That's
I don't
the
think it
first.
was the first.
That was the first. No, because it started off in the what's it? Mesopotamia.
London, right?
It starts off in Mesopotamia, and then they go to London, and then they go to Babylon.
Oh yeah, okay. So
So
it's the first time
that
they
was the
cut back.
first
Okay, yeah.
cut
Okay,
back,
yeah.
Yeah.
Also, then they cut again to like sometime later they cut again to Ajax still being alive, and I was like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah,
That was
when
also a
she
bit,
was
yeah.
talking to
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Some of the flashbacks were a bit jarring. Yeah.
I this is one of the parts that I appreciate about this. There's so much mythology, and they didn't shy away with like the Unimind sounds so stupid, and that's an actual thing in the comics, and they actually did it. They actually pulled it off, so I got excited a little bit. And like the fact that I think Marvel is really testing the grounds with this, with like the existence of a being that is like beyond, that's like above. Practically, Celestials are practically gods in the MCU.
Yeah, pretty
like,
much,
the
yeah.
embodiment of gods. The fact that there is a being like so huge that consumes and comes out of planet. If people are gonna buy into the fact that audience are gonna buy into the fact that these things can actually exist, I feel like this is Marvel's way of how they will eventually introduce Galactus, because they're probably
Yeah.
afraid of how people will perceive a giant purple man floating in space eating planets. But if this could work, I feel like they can go all out with it, with Galactus.
Especially, Fantastic Four being kind of like
As a
in there
cloud.
already, so that means Silver Surfer is gonna be there. Yeah. 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 That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
What else is there to talk about Eternals?
Thoughts on the post-credit scene?
All right, let's talk. Yeah, let's jump into the post-credit scenes, I guess now. The first one, right? First, I guess. Harry
I-
Styles as Star Fox.
Yeah, and I guess this ties in as well with the ending of the film, just real quick, because like, what's your thought on the ending of like the three of them? Um, it's Tina, Makari, and Druig. They went off
Yeah.
to search for the others, which ties into this first one, and then Kingo, Cersei, and Fastos was taken
Yeah, was
by
taken by Arisham, right?
Arisham,
Yes.
because
Yeah.
Sprite is a human now, which I like,
Mhm.
which I like by the way, because I was thinking like they're either gonna kill her off or something because they cannot get her for a sequel because she's gonna age. So
Yeah,
they
that's
solved the issue by making her human. I'm like, okay, I like that.
yeah. That's a smart decision, honestly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
did not see that.
Uh,
Yeah,
wait, what's our
go
thoughts
ahead,
on that?
go ahead, Calvin, with the post credit.
Oh, right, yeah. For the post credit, yeah, Harry Styles as Star Fox. Honestly, I have no clue who Eros is and who Pip was. I didn't even know Thanos as a brother, I suppose. And then I'm like, oh, I guess, pretty neat. Harry Styles looks great, I guess, as Star Fox. What's his name? He got the flamboyantness of like, I mean, to my understanding, Star Fox is supposed to be like like
I'm curious what you
larger
say.
than life personality kind of thing, right? I think,
Yes.
right? Yeah, something like that, you know?
Star Star Fox is a little bit problematic in the comics. He's very much a ladies' man. He's a playboy. He's able to get all the girls because he can manipulate their emotion. At one
Oh,
point,
what?
there is actually a storyline in the comics which is insane, of Star Fox being put into trial because of sexual misconduct because he manipulates the girl's emotion, and then
What?
She Hulk represents him in in the court. That's so weird.
Is
It's
this is it is this what the She-Hulk series is going to be about?
I don't know. But yeah, he has
Yeah,
psychic
alright.
control over other people's emotions.
But yeah, yeah, again, like the way you describe him, play ladies man kind of thing is like, I don't know. I feel like the way Harry Styles playing him, it suits pretty well. Yeah, it suits really well for him as Star Fox. Yeah. Uh, I want to see more of Pip. That's a definite.
Pip.
Yeah. I'm sure his CGI wasn't the best, but come on, it's just a post-credit scene. Thanos didn't look as good as he is in Endgame, right? So again, people complaining about Pip, yeah, screw off. We'll see Pip again later. See if it's actually get better or not. Then we can complain if it's still bad.
When I saw in the credits, it's like Patton Oswalt as Pip the Troll. I'm like, oh, that's really cool. It's Patton Oswalt. So, yeah.
Yeah. Um.
But
Yeah.
that's interesting because they're searching. They're already expanding the universe. They're searching for other deviants.
Yeah.
That's where they're going. Not other deviants.
Yeah.
Other
Eternals.
Eternals.
Eternals,
And
yeah.
they already found. Obviously, Harry
Wait, so
Styles'
Star
character.
Fox is Eternals.
He's an Eternal too.
Okay.
Thanos is also an Eternal.
I thought he's considered a deviant.
Thanos is an Eternal.
Thanos is an Eternal?
Yes. Which is and like as far as I'm pretty sure he's an Eternal. And like in the post credit scene, it says that Star Fox already have that yellow thing that's out of him. So clearly he's able to break through. I'm guessing they're hinting that he's able to go against his Celestial or whoever's in charge. Because Arishem is of this group of Eternals like control, right?
Yeah.
But like I guess so Star Fox have already breakthrough against his own version, so that's interesting. That means there might be other Eternals out there that's like already defying their respective Celestials. And like
Okay.
what was interesting to me, and I read this theory, and this is wild. Remember how they said that the goal of the Celestials is to harvest a new Celestial from Earth after they have enough population, right?
Yeah.
And then the Thanos with his snap, it stops that progress, and once
Yeah.
it comes back, it turns it back up because the population comes back.
Uh huh.
What's interesting, now, and I didn't even connect the dots, is that Thanos is a Celestial. That maybe he already breaks through. He already realized that. So when he does the snap, at the same time, he realizes that he wants to stop all the resurgence from happening.
Oh, maybe. Oh, that's put a new meaning to his whole motives. You know.
Yeah,
If that's
that's a, yeah.
true, that's insane. I didn't even connect it together. When someone
Yeah,
said that,
okay.
I'm like, whoa,
Damn.
yeah.
But yeah,
That is
yeah,
true.
huh.
Huh. Okay. That's
Huh.
an interesting theory right there.
That is
I like that
interesting.
theory.
That's why you can't just double the resources.
Yeah. That
It's
actually kind of like
also
what's it
stopping
name?
it.
Make Thanos to even more of a good guy. Honestly. Damn. Okay. Oh, by the way, Bert. Yeah, he is an Eternal, but because some sources kind of say like Thanos has a deviant syndrome. That's why I got confused.
Oh, I've never even heard of it.
I don't know. That's what Screen Rant wrote. Okay, Thanos was born with the deviant syndrome, and then another source say Thanos is an Eternal. So that's why I got confused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are brothers though, so yeah.
Yeah,
Even
they're
though
brothers.
They
Yeah.
doesn't look alike at all, but yeah.
To what I understand, like the deviant syndrome is what make him purple. Thanos, I mean.
Okay.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
Okay, sure.
That's what I read at least. Something
Okay.
like.
Good.
Yeah, I'm not.
Question mark.
Hey, I am not a deep lore on Marvel. Okay.
Yeah, I
But
I
yeah.
don't know much about Eternals either, but yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a really interesting theory for Thanos. Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. So is that all for the first post-credit scene?
Yeah, curious where we're gonna go. I'm guessing this might be the story of Eternals 2 or whatever. Because
Most
I don't
likely,
see,
yeah.
or maybe I don't know if they're gonna introduce them in Guardians, because we only will ever see them again in a cosmic lore, either Guardians or Thor. I don't think we might see them there, but I guess Eternals 2. I don't know. There is still
Yeah.
several untitled Marvel projects, right? So yeah.
Yeah. True. Yeah, and then jumping into the second post-credit scene, it's Kit Harington. Yeah. Oh wait, Albert, go ahead and explain. I really need to use the toilet.
Go ahead. So Kit Harington, we
Yeah,
can see.
I need an explanation. I did
We
not
didn't see him.
understand.
We didn't see him much in the film. Kit Harington didn't do much as Dane. They really just. But honestly, if they cut him out, it wouldn't make a difference too much in the film. I think so. I guess except for grounding Cersei.
Yeah.
But yeah, in the post-credit scene, we see Kit Harington in his. They mentioned before the post-credit scene to Cersei, like, "Oh, I have a interesting, complicated family history."
Yeah. I don't get that. Like,
Yeah, his name is Dane Whitman, and in there, eventually he goes to go to his room or whatever in his office, and there's a blade, right? And he touched the blade,
Yeah.
and like the blade's like moving on its own, and there is a phrase that says, I forgot what his phrase said, like something to do with the flesh.
Death is my reward.
That is my reward. And then someone mentioned, like, are you sure you're ready for that or whatever? So in the comics, Kit Harington is a character. Dane Whitman is a character named the Black Knight. It's his whole family has take on this mantle at one point. I believe his grandfather is also the Black Knight, but his grandfather uses basically the Black Knight is someone who wields this blade. I can't remember if it's Excalibur or if it's a different thing. But basically, the blade is strong enough to cut through anything, except for some like cosmic stuff, I guess, or like maybe vibranium. I don't know. But like basically, it could cut to anything. The sword can cut to anything.
Mm-hmm.
And like it has been, his whole family has whole lineage of using this. His grandfather, I believe, use it as a super villain when he uses the weapon. But Dane Whitman as a character has been using in the comics. He uses that sword for good for the most part. So they're definitely hinting of him wielding that weapon, right, in this next film. And so someone mentioned in the off screen of like, are you sure you're ready for this? It wasn't. They never confirmed in the film who it is, but based on a recent interview with Chloe Zhao, as well as Kit Harington, after being interviewed following it, they mentioned that it is confirmed that the person saying it is Mahershala Ali, who is Blade himself.
Blade!
The living vampire.
Yep.
Which is
Uh,
interesting. Which is interesting because he was announced as a cast in the panel of Comic Con at the same time they announced the cast of Eternals, and people was kind of confused. Like, okay, that's like kind of left field. And turns out he's gonna be in this film,
turns
so maybe
out.
that's why it's like he's announced there.
Honestly,
Okay.
that's such like if we didn't check that, like I don't think we would have guessed that, you know. Like my first thought it was like Doctor Strange.
I wasn't
Yeah.
even thinking of Doctor Strange.
I mean, for a hot second, I thought it was Steve Rogers, but like, wait a minute, no, he's dead, or well, or at least very old.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, but yeah, it's interesting because as far as my knowledge, they don't have a connection between uh,
Black Knight.
between the Ebony Blade and Black Knight and Blade himself.
You know why, Bert? It's a
His name
blade.
is Blade. Yeah, sure.
No,
Uh,
you know, it's sword. And his name is Blade. You gotta have them together. And I'm pretty sure Kit Harington never touched a sword, right? So
he touched the blade, and then it
no, I
moves.
mean
Remember?
like never used
He never
to
used
fight.
one.
Yeah, never used to one to
No,
fight.
no. But then, like some people theorize that. Well, it's not theorized. It is in the comics. I believe the more you use the blade, the crazier you get. Which
Yeah.
is maybe what happened to the grandparents. But also, some people say this again. This is a retcon in the comics. Some people say that like, oh, it's not really the more you use it, the crazier you get. It enhances your personality the more you use it. So like, if you're bad to begin with, you just even become more bad. But if you're good, you become more good with the
I
blade.
become more good.
I don't know, which is why maybe like that is my what was it? It's not a good. That is my revenge. Whatever it says.
Death is my
Death is my
reward.
That's my
reward.
reward. Like maybe the more you kill, the more power you get from it. I don't know.
Probably.
But some people also theorize that this may not be the real sword. That this is some kind of fake sword, which is why Blade is there. I
Okay.
really don't know what they're gonna do
Alright.
with this. Definitely,
idea.
Black Knight is gonna be in the Blade movie. Is it a movie or TV show? Movie.
Well,
He's gonna be
whatever it is,
involved
I'm
there.
excited for Blade.
But yeah, but I'm excited for this now because now, instead of reintroducing Blade as just a guy who kills vampires into the MCU, because that will be kind of jarring.
Mhm.
They're gonna introduce him with a connection to the MCU already, with
Yeah.
Dane. Sort of the same way how when they introduced Spider-Man, it's not just introduced Spider-Man in New York, but Spider-Man in the MCU as a character. So
Mhm.
yeah, that should be interesting.
Damn. I can't wait for Blade, you know? Especially after this, yeah. I don't know what else to say.
You have any thoughts, Teguh, after hearing all
No,
this?
I mean, not really. No.
By the way, what was it him? I already told you guys, but yeah. One of my friend had the theory that, you know, at the post-credit scene for Shang-Chi, they're trying to figure out like, oh, the 10 rings, we don't know where it came from and stuff. So my friend gave the theory, what if Fastos made them? You know? What
Yeah,
if
yeah.
Fastos
That
made
was
those 10
interesting.
rings?
That was interesting.
If I mean, like they came from a long time ago, and around that time, that means Wenwu. I think the Shang-Chi's dad's name, right?
When will yeah?
Yeah, Wenwu. Like he lived. He's from that time, like thousands of years ago. So he would have, found it, and that's why he stays young, I guess.
My only counter argument against it is why would Fastos make something like that for a
Yeah,
specific person?
I mean,
If
no,
it's
no,
supposed to grow,
not
if it's
for
supposed to
maybe
grow
not for
civilization.
maybe not for a specific person. He just kind of like made it and just like woo.
No. As much as I,
I don't
as
know.
much as I,
Yeah,
as much as I like that, I have a feeling it's
pretty sure it
either
won't
it's
be because of
e-
that.
either it's not Festus or
Not the Eternals.
either it's a different Eternal or it's Festus from a different planet. Because I think, correct me if I'm wrong, because my memory's kind of foggy on this, but I remember vaguely in the end of Shang-Chi, they mentioned that the material is like not like an Earth material, and it was
It's
like
not vibranium. It's not Chitori, and it's
Mm-hmm.
also not one of the mystic relics. Those are the three things they mentioned.
Yeah.
okay, well yeah, that, and it's like really old, right?
Mm-hmm.
So so it's either I think if it is fast toss, I think it's from a different like memory, I guess, like way back then in a different planet maybe.
Okay.
Or it's just a different Eternal, I feel like.
Yeah.
Because but I do like the theory that it's an Eternal thingy because just looking at the design and the effects, it seems very Eternal-y, you know.
Yeah, can see that.
And it makes Wunwu live, have it live for a long time.
Also, it's wild, but there is 10 rings and there are 10 Eternals in the film.
Yeah, right. So, yeah, out of like everything, they make the bracelet thing. So, hey, what if they made a bracelet before and they're like, dude, this rocks. So yeah, that's an interesting theory. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, any other thoughts we have on Eternals?
This stuff.
Oh yeah, Petra movie
I
says
love that.
also
I
the
love that
manager of Kingo is the best. I think the name is
Karun, right?
Karun. Yeah, Karun.
I love that. Always bring a backup at the camera. How many
Always bring
cameras
a
do you
spare
have?
camera.
Brought, like how many backups? Holy shit!
After Kingo does the Kamehameha, like, did you get that? I got it, sir.
Yes, sir.
And then like
Yes, sir.
when he first see the deviant, oh, this is so awesome, or something like that. Like, what? What do you mean? So funny.
Yeah,
This is the
action
best.
scene. Yeah. So that was
He's a better
So-
character than Dane Whitman in the film, but Dane Whitman didn't do shit.
yeah. All right,
Hey, he just wanted to
So-
be a giraffe, you know.
Also, I'll
Yeah.
just say I don't know what.
but giraffe aren't real to go.
That's why
I
he
don't
needed
know.
a wizard.
Damn, that's true.
I'm curious what the next film is gonna be that's gonna address, because there's literally now there's a head and a giant
hand.
hand appering out of Earth. Which of
Yeah,
the MCU film is gonna address that?
Dude.
Spider-Man's not gonna do it.
No,
Doctor
no.
Strange
Here's
is
the
not gonna
thing.
do it.
Here's the thing. At least in Spider-Man, that has to be on the news in the background.
Unless I don't know when timeline-wise it takes place though, so I don't know.
Yeah.
So like I don't think Thor is gonna be on Earth. Black
No.
Panther, I don't think they're gonna address that. I don't. Again, like
Dude,
the
honestly,
Marvels
I
probably
think it's
won't.
only-
Guardians 3, Fantastic Four maybe, and Man and the Wasp. I don't know.
Honestly, I think it's probably like if it were to be in Spider-Man, it's just going to be like somewhere in the news. Maybe in Doctor Strange.
Also,
Maybe.
yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
that's my-
also one last
yeah.
thing. In addition to the multiverse being a possibility, because there's still people still speculating how they get introduce mutants and Fantastic Four and everything, but mainly mutants because it's a whole race, right? How
Yeah.
they get introduced. Aside from the multiverse, now with the effects of like a resurgence that's supposed to happen but got stopped, maybe there's some kind of cosmic event that triggers it that like alters DNA or something, and like, oh, because of this resurgence that like supposed to happen but it disrupted,
didn't.
it creates like a new race that becomes mutant. Could be.
Oh, could be. All right,
Yeah.
man. Honestly, excited for the future. Yeah, the next movies. Honestly.
Yeah.
All right. So, any other thoughts on the Eternals or any other theories?
I'm probably gonna watch it again next week. I'm curious if my opinion changes.
All right. So let's call Avik back in, I guess.